Hello everyone, and welcome to the Vintage Needle Crafter. My name is Laura. And today I'm going to sit down with you once again and do podcast 31. It's hard to believe, looking back on almost a year ago, I started this little channel and we're up to the 31st podcast already, but I am so pleased. You notice the video was much brighter right away. Well, I discovered here on my phone that I had this little touch screen brightness thing, and for some reason it was turned down on my last video, so you'll notice that's a little bit darker, but hopefully it's nice and it's not too bright. Boy, the things I learn. I'm still learning all the time. I'm not tech savvy in any way, shape, or form. But anyway, welcome if you're new here. This is my little channel where I talk about things I knit, things I crochet, and share tutorials with all of you from time to time. So if that is something you really like, then I hope you stick around. Welcome. And welcome back, current and returning viewers. So I apologize first of all for the sound of my voice. I had strained my vocal cords a few days ago and they're still not quite right healed where they should be. So I'm a little bit raspy and a little bit hoarse. So I've been drinking the tea and everything like that. So, well, first up, I want to share, as usual, I will show you my finished objects first, and then usually I get into whips, acquisitions, and then anything that I find that are really good from the thrift store. I usually will share that, or yarn purchases. So, I need a drink already. My apologies, I just have to, I hope my voice don't crack. I was doing a video or a tutorial last week for a coaster, a star coaster, and my voice cracked about halfway through and I had to restart it over and take breaks, and oh boy, it was something else. But I wanted to get that done so you could have that in plenty of time for Memorial Day that's coming up in the future, near future, and 4th of July. I'm usually thinking ahead, so you have time to make these things, these projects, if you would like, and that's why I do them way ahead. Okay, enough of my babbling. First thing I want to show you here is what I'm wearing. This is the Country Roads poncho top from Cinnamon Stitches. Cinnamon Stitches. It was one of her tops that she had featured for Premiere Week. She did this a few weeks back. She had 5 separate videos, and she had the Country Roads poncho top. She had the Peak House Bill summer top, a bag, water bottle holder, and I think it was maybe a hat. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that 5th item. But anyway, I'll stand up so you can see the whole thing. It's a very loose and light, comfy top. I really like it. I like the fit on me. It's got, let's see. I'm not quite far enough back, am I? Well, let me move you back a little more, and then there we go. How's that? Now you can see the whole thing. I just knit mine in acrylic yarns that I had in my stash. Hers uses cotton, which Premier Cotton would be the yarn of choice. However, I did not. But yeah, it was quite simple to do. It's just crocheting a square and then you come down a join in the round for your body. But go check out her tutorial. It's free. She doesn't charge anything for patterns. Tips are welcome if you'd like to leave her a tip or buy her a coffee. That's a nice little way to say thank you for all her hard work. But here's mine. I love it. It's so comfortable. I had to wear a shirt underneath. Now I'll move you back towards me here. Sorry for the noise. That's a little too close. Where were we? There we are. What was I saying? Yeah, I have a shirt on underneath mine because it's been so cold here in Illinois. Spring is just really being hard coming in. It came in quite cold. We had snowstorm like a week ago with about a ½ inch, just a little light ground cover. But now it's been quite cold. It was raining, lots of rain, which I'm thankful for. Excuse me. But it's been cold and blustery winds. And out here where we live, way out in the country, it's always windy because everything is flat. One of these days I'll take my phone out and I'll show you outside here around what I mean by it being flat, because you can see for miles, but it sure is windier and sure gets hot in the summer or quite cold in the winter. So anyway, back to this. Yes, this was a very simple basic stitch. It looks so pretty. It is so cozy and so comfortable. It has a wide underarm here, so it's breathable. I may do another one of these in a lighter cotton and see how it turns out in the future. But that is my only finished object because once again I cast it on an extra couple of whips that were knitted. One is crochet. So I guess we'll get into that next. And so here we go with whips. Okay, first one I have, I'll start out with the crochet first. This I casted on, or started just a few days ago. I'm kind of in the middle of a stitch here. And I'm making a long, super long cardigan. And I'll show you one panel. This is just one of my front panels, and isn't it pretty? Starts at the top here with, well, there's kind of a glare. Let me see if I can close this curtain a little more. Maybe that will help. I think I had the brightness a little too high. There we go. There we go. It starts out with a darker shade of purple, and then it just gets lighter as you go up, followed by this very light lavender at the bottom. And the yarn I'm using for this is this, one of my old favorites, Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. There's that. And it is in the colorway Violet. It's so pretty. It just starts out with this deeper shade of purple, and then it goes into lighter. I think we're a little bit too bright. I think we are a little bit too bright. I'm going to pause this. My apologies. I'm sorry. I'm going to pause this and see if I can kind of tone it down just a bit. Okay, I think that's better. Do you think that's better? I'm thinking it's better. It's still bright enough, but there's no really high brightness. Now we can see the colors in this much better. You can see the deep purples. It started out a little lighter, and then it got to this deep purple. And it's a gradual fade, which is what I love. I love the gradual fade. Oh, that's much better over here. You can see that, can't you? It's much better now. Yeah. Okay. Now the stitch I used for this. You'll have to go see, I'm not sure what it's called, but Crystal over at Bag A Day Crochet is where I got the stitch pattern for this. And I don't even know what it's called. She has lots of different stitch pattern options. And it comes all the way down. When it's held up to my shoulder, it comes all the way down to, well, here's my hip. So it comes right at my hip, which is what I wanted. I have two panels, and the trick I had to do was try to get the yarn to synchronize to where it would be, the color fade would be similar. So you can see that. Do you see how that's similar? Yeah, sort of. I tried my best to get it to match because I didn't want the fade up here and then the fade down way down there. I just didn't feel it would look right. Oh, the lighting is just perfect now. Okay, those are the two fronts, and then I'm going to do a wide band. No, I'm not following a pattern other than the stitch pattern that Crystal gave. By the way, speaking of Crystal, I'll tell you a little bit more about her in a minute. But here's the back piece. And like the other two, I wanted the lightest at the bottom. It's going up now. You can really see the fade now. Isn't that pretty yarn? Pretty yarn, but it's pretty hard to crochet with over time. I have to tape my fingers if I'm doing it. If I'm doing this more than a half hour at a time, I find I have to tape my hands because it's very rough. And some poor ladies out there break out in blisters from Red Heart Super Saver, so it's quite a rough yarn. When you wash it and dry it, it's easy care. I think that's why a lot of people do use it, because they like the colors and it's so easy care. You just throw it in the machine at any setting, throw it in the dryer, and it'll come out just a slight bit larger than when you knitted or crocheted. It will grow just gradually, just a little bit, and will soften up nicely. But when you're working with it, you can't tell people, hey, well, it's fine. It gets softer when you wash it. But yeah, but I'm not going to wash my yarn first before I crochet with it, right? So it still hurts your hands. It'll hurt them if you're sensitive, like I am. Now, crochet hook, what did I use? Well, don't go by me. Like I say, I crochet larger than the average. It's the way I hold my yarn. But I used a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook for this. My voice. I hope I get through this whole podcast. Oh, I sound like a squeaker, and I can't even sing. I can't sing a tune at all. I sound like a croaking toad. Anyway, that is whip number 1. Now I have my second whip, and this one is knitted. I really should have put this on 2 needles because I wanted to try it on for you. It's at that point now. It's that purple sweater that I had showed you my last podcast. I'll try to smooth it out. Once we get it blocked, it'll be so much better. But here is the little guy. He's growing. It's growing. I have it marked here now at the sleeve because remember I mentioned in my last podcast I did the lace around the yoke, but I also want to come down the sleeve with the lace. So the lace will be going through here, and the lace will be coming down my arm. Just something I wanted to do. No, I didn't follow a pattern. It's just my own. But there that is. Again, a nice... I love the colors in this. I really do. I like the way the color changes are. This yarn has turquoise. It has a very deep turquoise, light turquoise, and then different shades of purple. I've showed you yarn before, but I will show you again. This is the James C. Brett yarn. And I'm holding it double with this here, and this is Willow Stream. This is no longer available, but don't worry. Any lace weight merino wool and silk blend in a shade of purple, it will work. It will work with this. Okay? If you want to make it like mine. And there's yarns out there. There's yarns out there that color. I have some coming from Wool Warehouse. That is a Malabrigo yarn. And it is some purple shades, and I thought I'd try that just in case I run out of the Willow Stream, because I have this one, and then I have one more, and that is all I have. So I'm thinking that it's not going to be enough to finish that. I may get the body done with those two, but not the sleeves. So, okay, so that was my second WIP, and now I have another little side project going on that's knitted. I have more knitted this time, more knitted things to share than crochet. But here's my second WIP. And isn't this ever so pretty? It's going to be a wearable, and it's going to go this way. And it's going to come here at the armpit, come up. It is just going to be a little ripple bralette. And it's pretty. And this yarn here is 100% cotton. I do not know what brand or what company because it was a thrift store find. Paid $2 for this. It's pretty heavy. Weighted, it come out around 7 ounces. Near almost 7 point something. It was almost 8. It was almost 8 ounces, which should be plenty enough to make a little ripple bralette. Haven't even put a dent in this heavy ball. Can you hear that? Yeah, that was me dropping it on the table. It's pretty heavy. Quite a bit of yarn. Isn't that pretty? And I'm doing this one. I cast it on, for my size, I cast it on 45 stitches using a number 8 circular, okay? I cast it on 45 stitches, and I knit for 3 rows, and then I did stockinette. We'll look at it this way. And then I did stockinette for 3 rows. Then I switched and did the stockinette reverse for 3 rows, and then back to regular stockinette. And all the while, in each switch where you're switching it, I increased a stitch. So it's growing a little more. So that's what I did. So you'll be stockinette stitch, and then reverse the stockinette stitch. So you'll see all the purl, and then go back to regular, and then switch. Kind of tricky. So it kind of resembles that rib look. I just didn't want to do from the bottom and go all the way up with the ribbing. I just felt it was going to take me time. I wanted to do something different. So that's what I did. And it's just right here at the armpit right now. The length of this, it sits right at my natural waist. And if it's too short, I may make a rib on the bottom. Probably. Because I'd like it to be a little bit longer top. Not just something you would wear for an undergarment alone, because I'm full-figured. But I was just thinking in the summertime with a t-shirt underneath with this over the top would be a nice little pop of color. Something to dress up your t-shirt. So there's that, and I think that's pretty much all I got going. I'm still working on other things like my Blake cardigan. Oh, I'm being naughty with this. I haven't picked it up in a few weeks. I put a little bit more on it. But being done by April, I don't see it happening. Maybe by autumn. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I get these sidetrack projects going on, and then the dress, the 86 dress, still working on that. I made about this much more progress. I'm just about ready now to where I can start in the round with it. I started at the natural waist with this dress, and I came straight up into where the arms would be. Then I cast it on a number here, and then cast it on a number here so it would come out for the arms, and went up so far, and then started the V for the V-neck, and then came straight up again. And now I'm coming down the back side. I'll be bringing it in narrow again to go back down the back. It's kind of unusual the way I knitted it. But I'm not the usual average knitter. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I suppose you could call me a rebel knitter, a rebel crocheter. I make up my own things. I do follow patterns now and then. But I don't know, I don't know if any of you out there are like me. I just like the freedom of creating my own design and my own pattern. I don't know. It's just freeing to me. I do enjoy making from other people's patterns from time to time. I'm not everything make myself. Okay, that was pretty much it. That's all the whips. I'm still working on this here. I keep showing you. I do want to make this my next priority. I want to finish this so you can see it. I've been showing you and there hasn't been any progress done on that the last week because I was working on that sweater. Well, it's been so cold. It's been so cold here in Illinois that I've been wanting to make cozy things still. My summer things are kind of languishing. I did get these 2 summer tops done, but that was all. So, I don't think I have any acquisitions that I can share right now. I do have a project going, but I really kind of want to put that in my next podcast because I'm working on it. It's something it's something to do with hand spinning. So I really want to wait on that before I share that with you. But I got to share this with you first. Now, in the last podcast, I did say I have plenty of yarn. I don't need any more. And a funny story. We were out, I was out with my sons. We went out shopping to Goodwill. And I said to them before I went in there, now, whatever you do, please don't let me buy any yarn unless it would be something like superwash merino wool or cotton or something like that, because that you'd hardly ever see. I struck a gold mine. I struck a gold mine at the thrift store. And in this bag, this is very heavy. There's many, many, many yarns in here. And all of this yarn in here is superwash merino wool, regular wool with alpaca, high-end sock yarn, hanks of hand-dyed yarn, and some roving. That's right. This whole entire bag, and we weighed it, and the thing weighs about 14 pounds. 14 pounds of yarn, and the entire bag came to $41. Where on earth are you ever gonna find merino wool? Some with silk. Some of these wools have silk, and I know because it has that shine. Now, you're probably thinking, if you're fairly new, well, how do you know that's wool and not acrylic? There's a way you can test. And no, you don't have to stand there in the store and expose yourself to germs by doing the spit splice test. Any type of wool that is 100% wool will break easily. It will break easily in your hands. This is how you know. Any wool that usually has a silk blend of at least 10%, 5 to 10% or higher, will have a slight sheen to it, okay? So let me go through a little bit of this bag. Now, this here, that's roving. I'm not going to say any more because there is a high buzz out there on YouTube about these acrylic yarns, and that you can work with them like roving. I got 3 of those. But now we're going to get into the wool. Aren't these pretty? This is the prettiest wool. This is the scratchiest of the bunch, and these like $1 a piece. Here's number 3, and I did work a little sample with this one. There's 3 of those. Isn't that ever so pretty? I just crocheted a little sample of that. And the yarn right here. I'll put it together and show you. There it is. It's so nice. I love it. I love those crazy colors. Now, I'm not going to sit here and take all of these out, but many of these, the work's already been done. They've been caked up for me. And like I said before, this one doesn't have much of a sheen. But you can see the colors in it. Now, unfortunately, there's only like one of each color. There's not much duplicates. Here it is. It's a very light, between a 1 to 2. Do the test. See how easy that broke? You heard it snap? That's wool. That's wool, okay? You cannot break acrylic. You might break your fingers before you try to break acrylic. But there's so many of these in here. Now, they're not in the best of shape, you know, spun-wise. They come a little loose. But there is so many of these. This has a tag on it. It's a hand-dyed. This one is hand-dyed. Look at these. 99 cents a piece for these. Where are you going to find that? I think what happened was somebody donated. Look at this one. This has a slight sheen to it. This has a slight sheen to it. Where are you going to find these? Look at that one. These are all wool. These are all wool. You're not going to find this for 99 cents. There's some more of that color. And they're just wound. Somebody taped them a little bit to hold them together. There is a couple of those. And I'm just pulling them out here. Oops, this one's caught on its other one. It's caught on another thread. Oh my. I may have to bring them both up together because it's caught. Here's some more. See, these are wound on a ball winder. So they came in hank form and someone just did not use them. I set those down. I'm just going to pull out. Here's one that's not wound. This is a hand dye. I have no idea what these cost online, but they're probably anywhere from $8 to $12 a hank, you know. And the weights are very close to same on a lot of these. We weighed this one, and then we weighed a lot of the other ones, and they were just a few. They're very close. Some are like less than a ½ ounce off. This one here now did not break, but I can tell by the feel. This one's cotton. This one's cotton. So, like I say, when I struck gold mine, that one pretty. And down at the bottom, there's a few of these. And this one has the label. $2.20 Superwash. $1.99. There's three of these, and there's one of these. You can make a nice little something. That's more. But yeah, there's a lot of, that one was pretty. He kind of fell out of his cake form a little bit. They're all in a cake form. There was some of this in there. Patton's Classic Wool. This is a DK, and I do have more of this in my stash. It's just that I don't have enough to make anything. So every time I get some of this Patton's, I'm always putting it back till I get enough. This is just some more odds and ends. This one says, New Virgin Wool, 10% polymade nylon. And there's just 2% acrylic. But still broke in my hand. Only I had a little difficult. But down at the bottom now, there's a lot of sock yarn. Lots of sock yarn. That looks like Patton's Crochet, maybe. A lot of these don't have labels, but it's fine with me. My sock mojo died, and I haven't knit a pair of socks in I don't know how long. But with all these beautiful colors, Barocco, Comfort sock. Yeah, there's so many, there's so many colors of this socks yarn in here. Premier stripe. It was a gold mine. Look at this little guy. He is super, super, super soft. Super, super soft. He breaks very, very easily. Very, very easily. There's another sock here, Yarn Bee. That's a Hobby Lobby brand of sock yarn. And there's a couple down here, and I do believe they are, hold on. Put some of these back in. I just put everything together in this clear bag. Oh, my chair keeps scooting backwards. This here, I'm thinking it's got a lot of little fuzzies and little hairs, and it feels to me like it's got some alpaca. Because I have worked with a wool alpaca blend before. It's very nice and light. It's a number 2 light. I really want to make, let's show you the right, you can see that. A very nice number 2 light. There we go. And I can tell by the little bits of hair that's in here, I think there's alpaca in this one. Wow, what a find, huh? What a find. And to get all that roving. That's all I'm going to say about that, because I want to make a video coming out on how you can spin with different types of fiber. Excuse me. Different types of fiber. My voice is starting to crack, but just wanted to share that with you. So now I've got a wool stash built up. I wasn't going to go for any acrylic. I mean, if that would have been acrylic, this says work sock. It left the tag on it. Yeah, it says on the tag, hand-dyed yarns. Wow. I was just flabbergasted. And my husband took me over there and I go, honey, you know, like I said, I really don't need any yarn. And he says, well, this is kind of different. And I go, oh, I'll take it because I know what that is and I can do with that. I know what to do with that. And no, I'm not going to knit or crochet with just that. You have to process that first. But I'm giving you too many clues. But that's my little yarn haul. Put all these back. I thought this was so pretty. I have 3 of these, so I'm not sure exactly. I would just like to make something fun for summer. I'm thinking like a tank top, a short, sleeveless top of some sorts. I get these all back in there. The lady that's checking me out, she looked at me and I got all this pile of yarn up there and she says, is that all? No, there's a few more. And she almost rolled her eyes. I thought, well, you shop at Goodwill, it's going for charity, you know. I don't want to get that caught in the zipper. But there's another lady in line. She says, oh my, is that what I think it is? Yes. She says, where'd you get that? Back there in the yarn. I says, I didn't take it all. There's more left. I says, I think somebody came and donated somebody's whole entire wool stash. She knew what that was. She knew that was wool. Because we could tell by the way it was caked up, but the real test was that snap test. Real 100% wool will break fairly easy, as acrylic will not, like I said before. But anyway, that's pretty much all I had to sit down and talk about and share with you today. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. My podcast, probably by the time you see this, my tutorial will be up and out for the coaster. I made the star rectangle. Oh, I'll show you. This granny star rectangle that I made. I also made a cotton coaster that's round with colonial colors. And I have a tutorial out for that if you take a look. It's up on my channel. I'm trying to figure out how to take my tutorials and put them in a playlist. Like I said, I don't film from a computer. I don't own a computer. Shocking, right? I don't own a computer or printer at all. It's just me, my phone, and my makes. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out from my phone how I can create a playlist that just has my tutorials in it, so you can go through those to find, you know, what you're looking for, because eventually I'm going to be getting so many videos on here that's going to be very hard to find a certain one. And I don't know yet how to link certain episodes in my description. If you have any tips or could tell me, I sure appreciate it. I'm not sure if that feature is available from my smartphone. So with that, you all take care. You have a wonderful week and enjoy your makes. And please be sure to give this a like and consider subscribing for more podcasts, more fun, more tutorials. And have a wonderful day. Bye.